Hello my friends. In this video I want to share some uh, informations about the practice that we are doing and about Taoism in generally without diving very deep into the philosophy of Taoism. The main principle is the Tao, or the Tao, which is a symbol for God, for everything what is. It is a energy in constant change, in motion, which is experienced through the mind as two poles of yin and yang, because the mind only can grasp this as a in a dualistic way of black and white, front and back, up and down, forward and backward, and night and day, and all the other examples. So the Tao, which is this constant flux of energy, this constant motion itself, is experienced only in the now. And in order to get aligned with the Tao, which we want to do through our practice, we want to come to a state where we don't rationalize anymore, but come to the now through our direct experience of the motion of energy. A very good example or method to get this awareness is the breath, because the breath is also always changing, but consists always from those two poles of inhalation and exhalation. You may hold your breath as long as you can, but you will start in one point. So the breath is from our birth until our death a constant companion, and it changes in every situation we go through. Whether we do some exhaustive sport or we are sleeping, if we are angry, our breath is different than when we are sad or when we are happy. And so to observe our breath, in order to be in the now, in order to be aligned with this general energy of which everything consists, that is our goal. So to come to the now, there are thousands of different techniques developed, of which I use many. In Qigong we have this the moving exercises, as well as the still Qigong, only sitting and directing energy inwardly through our body. But whatever technique we use, we must not forget that it's only a method. Because the Tao itself is not a technique, it's not a method, it is nothing what we can rationally grasp, because it is constant, I lost the word, constant spontaneity. Yes, this is it, what I was looking for. Spontaneity, so, is the key. So in order to be spontaneous, we have to get rid of everything what we learned before. So when we apply a technique in order to get spontaneous, we have at one point to drop the technique. This doesn't have to be in the beginning, but only after we have digested any technique. This is the point where most people get stuck. Most people can practice for their whole life without getting to that point of spontaneity where everything appears to happen by itself. Spontaneous movements are here a very direct approach, because spontaneous movement is also a method, a technique, but different than any other technique. It emphasizes very much the point of letting go of the technique. So only in the beginning this technique is applied, for example, through the breathing or through some other methods, to get into that state where then everything happens by itself and even the breathing changes then. To come to this point, also great variety of different methods, mostly in combination with the breath, existing here, and I'm teaching one of them. This is called the embryonic breath, or the contrary belly breath, rather. The natural belly breath starts from our center in the lower dantian. I explained my breathing methods already in a other video, more in detail. This time I will keep it short. So we breathe always from our lower dantian, which is located below our navel, deep in the center of our belly. And the contrary belly breath, or the embryonic breath, is when we exhale, we release into our belly and push it forward so that it grows. The belly grows while we exhale, and while we inhale, we build up a force drawing the belly more and more inside, so that our belly and around our body in our middle, we have a contraction. And through this contraction, we have the feeling that the energy inside our body is pressed up and down, as well as in our legs, as well as in the upper body, so that we feel we grow and take more or less energetically the shape of a sand clock. Exhaling, we return to a shape of a balloon felt. So this is the embryonic breath, and through the embryonic breath we can create a great internal force in our body, an energy which rises higher and takes us over, so that we can let go of the technique as well and just follow the flow of our energy. But in order to go there, we first have to start our engine. You may think that there are more different ways to get aligned with the Tao, to come into balance, into that flow state. And you may try, but of course you could just be aware of your natural breath constantly during all its changes. If you can manage that, Osho said, if you can manage this for 24 hours, then you're enlightened. Maybe it is true, but in order to observe our natural breath, it is, I would recommend to start with a breathing method, with a technique, just to get to the habit of being aware of your breath. The more you practice any breathing method, any technique in which your focus is on your breathing, will engage you to more and more to become aware of your breath in your daily life also. And this is actually the point. So in the moment that you're completely aware of your breath, you can let go of any technique, even of spontaneous movements. Then you will be aware that actually everything what you're doing is a spontaneous movement. But to go there, daily practice, technique, and discipline is strongly recommended, at least from my side. So now when we for many people it is difficult to apply the spontaneous movements directly. So then, to make it easier, they may start with a series, sequence of movements, like for example the 8 brocades, which I explained in another video before, to keep on stick to that practice until they really digest it and then can let it go again. So In any technique, in any practice where this contrary belly breath is applied, the point is more to focus on your breath than on your power in your body. There are sequences of very soft and gentle movements, as well as movements where your body gets very tensed and strong in the end of the inhalation, especially. As, for example, the eight brocades is an example where you use your physical strength. But don't forget that the point is to relax with your exhalation completely and feel this energy first rising from your breath, from the compression of the lower dantian. The pressure rises in your body, and only finally you feel that your whole body is really strong in that, in any kind of movement. With soft and gentle movements only, for example, as the sequence of the Tai Chi Qigong, or the 16 movements of harmony called, there you also can use the contrary belly breath or also the natural belly breath. But when you use the contrary belly breath and create a little force in this soft and gentle movements, then your attention is only on your internal force without engaging your body too much. So in the eight brocades, finally you also engage your body, but don't make the mistake to stick too much to your physical condition, to the exercises itself. This will do you good. Of course, it's a physical exercise. You will exercise your body, but it is not the point of training. The point of training is to become really quiet inside, to come to this meditative state where you follow your breath and at the same time observe how this energy created through your breath rises, creates this pressure, this power, which then expresses finally in the movements of the eight brocades. Thank you for watching.